Welcome to this E-25 replay. The E-25 in this match is being played by Huncut from TBOQQ, and we're here on Malinovka to see what he can do actually. So at the start he's moving to the classical light tank spotting location in the middle, which is something I wouldn't personally do in my E-25, but it works out really well for him. So let's see what he can do. He spots, I think he spots a Cromwell, I don't know for sure, but he definitely does spot this IS-6, the Oni AT-15. So he's got binoculars on his E-25 as well, and it's quite a good choice because the view range of this thing is not really great, but if you put the binoculars on it, it works really well because you spend most of your time static shooting anyway, so you might as well have binoculars with 25% more view range. I've got binoculars on it as well as a rammer and vent, which works really well in general. So he's just providing eyes for his team, getting these guys shot up. And his team seems to be spreading out quite nicely, to be honest. The heavy tanks are going to the right flank where they actually belong. There's some mediums on the left where they belong and some TDs in base where they belong. So it's a good split, especially for this team, which is statistically it's alright, but it's not the best. And here he gets spotted, which is quite surprising. I guess there's a Hellcat somewhere that's spotting him, who's shooting him as well, because that T-34-2 is practically blind, so I don't imagine him spotting Huncut here. But he receives some fire and he smartly pulls back into cover again to get despotted, and then he decides to not poke up there in the middle again, but rather just go somewhere else. Which is the right thing to do, because everyone is and their mother is now focusing on that bush over there, so if he goes back, gets spotted again, he's going to get insta-killed probably. So he does a smart thing and he moves to the right, to a more, a more normal spot for a TD, which is the place over here in the bushes. You can do some quite nice work with TDs from here, unless they have a spotter on the opposite side, like that guy over there. However, Huncut is able to put some fire into this Yak Panther, and I was quite surprised that these two shots penetrate, especially since they are non-premium shots. The Yak Panther armor works pretty well against an E-25 normally because of the angling, but I guess he had two really nice RNG rolls on the penetration for that one. And again, the enemy team pulled back, nothing really visible from here. So there's a moment of peace and quiet in the match, and then this T-34-2 does something really stupid, which is to slowly creep into the middle of the map. He gets ammo wrecked by Huncut, instantly raising his damage total with 1300 damage. Quite funny. I had a similar situation in a match which I've posted by now. It's the T-23E3 match where I ammo wrecked T-44 in sort of the same position. Position on the tank, not position on the map. But again, a little bit of a stalemate. Unfortunately, the big heavy that was next to him was killed because he was on 290 health and decided to basically expose himself to enemy fire. Now we see this IS-6 coming down the hill, but Huncut decides to focus on this Cromwell, which is a smart thing to do because that guy has actually got the spotting range to detect him, as we can see. So it's always important, especially in an E-25 or any tank destroyer, to take out people who can actually spot you. Enemy T-25 or E-25 thinks that he's smart standing on a ridge engaging Huncut. He dies for it because it's a stupid thing to do, especially when there's so many other enemy tanks around you. And Huncut starts to focus on this IS-6. First shot misses, unfortunately, but the second one hits, and let's see if we can damage him more. No damage, ding on the side of the turret, even with premium ammo. So quite unfavorable RNG, but I guess the two shots earlier when he got really lucky sort of balanced that out. He kills the IS-6 and instantly moves forward. because people know he's there, especially that Cromwell. They are just focusing on that bush, so if you stay up there you just get shot as soon as you're spotted. But our Cromwell takes out their Cromwell, so all is even again, which is good. So the enemy team is getting more and more blind by the second, which is good. And Huncut decides to yet again move flank. They know he was in the center bush, so if he just stays there, he's going to get annihilated. But now there's this tiger coming down the hill. Huncut decides that the smartest thing to do is to pull back, which it is in this situation. The E-25 DPM is really good, but it's not good enough to kill a full health tiger before he takes you out if you've got 325 health. So what he does is he moves back and uses the bushes over here to his advantage to put damage into the tiger without the tiger spotting him. And because the bushes are more than 15 meters away from him, they completely obscure his view, or he can still spot, or the enemy is being spotted by the guy next to him, but he can still shoot and the tiger will not detect him. Now this doesn't go for all the bushes in this game, because Wargaming being Wargaming, they've implemented a grading system in the bushes insofar as how much camo they provide, but that grading system is visible nowhere, so you've got no clue how much camo a bush provides until you fire and or do not get spotted, which is really annoying, coupled with the stupid ground resistance values you can see nowhere in the game. It's just stuff that should be publicly visible, so people can anticipate what will happen when they do something. But I guess Wargaming needs to keep certain stuff hidden. I don't know if they do it in fear because they piss people off or what else, but hey. Anyway, those bushes worked really well, so they provided really nice camo. And as well, the E-25, since it's a premium TD, it didn't get its camo after firing nerfed like the regular TD, so it still is really sneaky when you fire, which is good. But the gun fires so fast that it's not really uncommon to either run out of ammunition completely in a match or to nearly exhaust all your ammunition supply, so you have to really take into account that you don't waste any shots on targets you cannot penetrate, because if you shoot 10 shots on let's say an IS-8 from an unfavorable angle and you bounce all 10, you've only got something like 50 shots, so that's instantly a large section of your ammo gone, so you don't want to fire unless you're absolutely sure that you can actually damage what you're shooting at. And here there's a little bit of a micro bump in the way, so Huncut moves up even further. There's a problem though, because there's a Yak Panther on his side, so if he gets spotted by that tiger too, the Yak Panther can blast him in the side, and the Yak Panther probably has the 10.5 gun, which does 320 average damage, so that's him dead if he gets shot. So he manages to put one shot in, doesn't want to hang around for the second, and makes sure to get the hell out of there. Yak Panther is not firing on him, which can mean one of two things: that he's behind the church, or that he moved to a completely dumb location for a Yak Panther to be in the middle of a ridge. So he misses again, and Huncut does the smart thing, loads premium ammo because he doesn't want to ding on that guy now so late in the match, and takes him out. So waiting behind the church a little bit, waiting to get despotted. Now the last time everyone was spotted was in their base, so he needs to be careful here, because he's a one shot for 3 of the 4 tanks in this match still. He moves up carefully, trying to make use of the trees, waiting for his team to do something and share their HP. Japanese heavy, they're quite tricky for this tank if they don't show the side of the turret, but they do. So Huncut is able to put more and more fire in. 80-15, but it's difficult to tell which way he's facing. But now he's facing side on, and there we go, just losing his HP. Now there's only the arty left behind the building. Huncut shoots the building down, and there we go. So yeah, This was Huncut in the E-25. He's got 2 barrel marks, which means that he's quite good at this TD, which is quite obvious from this match as well. It was obviously an ace tanker match. Also, he got Confederate high caliber tank sniper top gun, and he managed to do 5,500 damage this match and get 1975 base XP. And as you can see, the in-game WN8 counter says nearly 1300 WN8. Now that might have changed because I'm recording this replay with the new WN8 values, but all in all, a really good E-25 match. So I really hope you enjoyed this replay. If you did, feel free to subscribe to the channel and rate it, and see you next time.